So the Mark 8.5 Ford Fiesta ST facelift. So I'm going to go through this car, a bit of a used car guide buying sort of idea. It's a car that I'm really passionate about, and basically the idea is to kind of show you some of the cars that you can kind of get today and a little bit of the high to low and kind of what to look out for and the prices. I'm filming this today on the 31st of March. It's April 2024 tomorrow, so yeah, fantastic. Happy Easter for those who celebrate that. And on my channel, if you're familiar with me, I've done a lot of like Ford Fiesta stuff as well, so it's worth checking out. And I've driven the car quite a few times, and I am passionate about it. I do enjoy them, and I am a big fast Ford fan. And the day that we're in today, they don't make the Ford Fiesta anymore, unfortunately. They just don't exist. But as a used purchase, it's actually for me one of the best times that you can kind of buy a car like this. Let someone else take the hit of that depreciation, and now you can kind of swoop in and get a deal. So let's basically talk about that. That's the idea. So if you're a fast Ford fan, you're probably going to like it. But let's just start from high to low, kind of in the car market at the moment. Now the facelift, if you're not familiar with what that kind of entails, and you're probably better off checking out one of my videos actually to get a full idea of it. Yeah, there's me sort of checking it out. This was an ST2 facelift, as you can kind of just see there. And this was one of the first ones actually sort of knocking around, which was pretty exciting, to be fair. And this car is in mean green, and it was essentially a 3-door. They're all sort of in manual. They're also in 5-door. You can just see to the right of it is my Golf R. And essentially the ST2 is slightly less spec'd, so you get the 17-inch wheels, and you don't get all of the fancy, basically all the options that Ford kind of offer are in the ST3 kind of package. But the ST2 and the ST3 is where I'd kind of sit on. They discontinued the ST1 for the facelift. Facelift models for the Mark 8.5 came about in, it was 2022, it sort of popped out. Only around for a few years. Before that, you could just get the normal Mark 8, which had a slightly different grille, slightly different interface, different seats as well. You get the Ford Performance seats inside the Fiesta Mark 8.5, and they're very comfortable. And you get a few extra little buttons. You can see me sort of playing around, having a good time. I was really happy driving this car, and it certainly makes me want to get back into one of these cars, even today. Look, he hadn't even taken, the owner had only literally just picked up, he hadn't even taken off the screen protector yet. So that was pretty exciting. And it's cool that you can find these cars in today's world. I visited a Ford dealer yesterday actually, and that was in my previous video. And they had a couple of these out the front. And I'm just like, that's what I kind of like, and that's what I enjoy. The cars are fun. They make a great little noise. It's a 1.5 litre EcoBoost engine. They're economical enough. It's 3 cylinders, but it can deactivate one. I don't see why it wouldn't work, in today's world. And if you want something tiny bit bigger, you can get the Puma. But this is about the Fiesta. And as you can see, unpainted brake calipers. You get the red brake calipers on the ST3. You get slightly bigger wheels. The ride is firm from what I've kind of experienced from driving it, but hey, if you want a sporty car, this is the one to go for. It's nice and small, nice and narrow. It puts a smile on your face. I mean, there's me on the top left. I'm having a pretty fun time. The mean green colour looks really good, and actually I've got something to share about the colour because I think that's important. This is what I just noticed from Auto Trader as well. Colour is really important when you're deciding to choose your car. Now I checked from the facelift, and so many of them, like literally no joke, 85% of the cars for sale are in white. And now I imagine that's just what people wanted, but that actually kind of devalues the car in the first place. There weren't that many greens. There was this sort of special blue color where there's only literally 2 or 3 cars for sale, which is what I had kind of on the which I had on the thumbnail. That car, go for a little bit more of a unique color. Even red, the green, the blue, pretty special. I also really like the grey color as well. I appreciate we're still going through this mean green car, but it just gives you a little bit of an idea of what to kind of expect the facelift, with a little bit of the changes in the grille and the cool lines, and it sits nicely. It's got like a new front lip as well on the front too. Great on sort of like a back road. This was just sort of like a twisty road. I was just sort of having some fun round, pretty bumpy and stuff. But it's a skittish car in some ways. You have to be alive. You can't just let it take you away. It's not some sort of automatic Tesla where you just sit in it. It's ironic that Fiestas are normally the entry-level cars, but I've actually found them the most driver-focused cars and the ones that you really have to be on your toes, which is kind of backwards. I owned my first Mark 7 Fiesta ST back when I was 22, 23 years old. And, at that time, it was probably, even today, if I hopped in it today in my mid 30s, I'm sort of like, yeah, wow, it's a, you've got to be on your toes. Even the Golf R that I have, you've got to kind of be aware. But anyway, we're talking about the used car guiding price. So I'll pause this for a second and I'll show you what I found on Auto Trader because I think it's interesting to everyone. So here's the market at the moment. There's a car up for £17,000. As I said, this is the 31st of March. And you can see how it's depreciated down from 20,000 by £3,000. It's from a company called Stoneacre. I don't know too much about them, but they actually mentioned doing 0% interest on this. So 17 grand for a 0% interest, white three door. I think that's pretty good personally. I don't know too much about Stoneacre, but hey, you can't go wrong. It's still a dealer. I like the ones that come through a main dealer because obviously people are handing them back because they've got like a 2-year PCP and it's coming to an end in March 2024, and they're going for a different reg. But yeah, from about £17,000 upwards of highs, and this is a 2022 car essentially. Highs of, well, it can go nearly up to 30,000. I wouldn't spend that. Around the 20 grand mark, you're going to get yourself a good car. I would personally stay away from the likes of Arnold Clark, and that's just me personally. I think if I was to get one, I'd either I would get it from a main Ford dealer. I'd just be honest. I'd rather the peace of mind. But that's personal to me. That's just what I would be looking for. That's me. One owner, because then it's got a full Ford service history and stuff. And yeah, again, that's just what I would go for. But what I found interested in is you press in colour. So my little search here is from 2022 onwards, which is the facelift, and obviously ran for not as long as we would have liked. But if you look at the colours, look at all the cars that are available. 17 black, 4 blue, 20 green, 8 grey, 17 red, 85 white. I don't know why it says yellow. Those cars are not yellow. Don't get a white car, or get a white car at an extremely cheap price, like, hey, that £16,999 one. Grey's pretty good because it works well in the UK. I have a grey Golf R. They tend to hold their values quite well. Grey and black, unfortunately, it's a bit more boring, but they do hold their money well. Other than that, I would look at the red and green personally, and the blue is super rare. You look at they didn't do a special limited edition of this car. They did the ST edition and the ST Performance edition in the Mark 8. They haven't done any limited edition for the ST or the Fiesta, and they won't ever do it because they're not going to make the car anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, here's a couple of examples as well that I found. This one was from a Ford dealer as well, £18,000, 32,000 miles. It was an ST3 spec. And you can see with the ST3, you just get those bigger wheels. You get like things like performance pack, and yeah, there's basically, it just gives you everything. If you can do it, go for the 3. But the 2's not too bad. The fact that they discontinued the ST1, which is again just a different trim, which didn't really have anything on it, was probably the right thing. Not many people purchased that. But you want to get something on it. And yeah, I think the wheels look nice, but it's obviously all personal preference and bits. But yeah, this is a good little car to get into, and good fun as well. Good to, I can recommend it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this kind of video. And in 2024, I can still recommend it, even in April 2024. There was another green one here as well. Look at like lower price. Just go off Auto Trader. See what Auto Trader tells you. I use this tool called AT Price Tracker. That tells you how much it's been depreciated. And yeah, again, this is from Ford Cambridge. Very nice, mean green. £19,490. Yeah, it's a nice car. 9,300 miles. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's like the best investment in the world or anything like that. But if you like your cars and you want someone else to take the hit on the money, then go for it. The one thing that I found really interesting was the grey cars. Now, this was one of the first cars that I saw in the UK, and it's one of my highest videos, actually, nearly 48,000 views I think I've had on it. And I just did a little walk around of an ST3 one. This is an ST2 because it's got the smaller wheels. And I was like, hang on, why are not more people going for the greys? It's subtle, it looks really good. I think it works really well with the lights. Yeah, again, I like a grey car. That's, again, personal preference. I've got a limestone grey Golf R. And there's not many for sale either. So it's like, it's just a bit better for the residuals as well. So yeah, I think it's a good color. Color is most important. This is an ST2. If you can get ST3, get ST3. Obviously, price wise, £16,999 if you go for the ST2. If you go for an ST3, the cheapest ST3, £17,950 in Portsmouth, a place I know very well, from a Ford dealer. That's pretty special. No images yet. Normally when they don't put images, it means it's just appeared out. And the fact that it's just been advertised on the 27th, and obviously it's a bank holiday Easter weekend, this could be quite an interesting one to think about. Yeah, again, to go for. The car I kind of wanted to talk about, which was the car I had in the thumbnail. This is a one owner. It's in Boundless Blue, a colour they didn't make that long. And the fact that there's only 2 for sale on Auto Trader as I write this says it's quite a good one. I could only find them in ST2. The only 2 that were for sale were in ST2 form rather than the ST3. It's a happy colour. I think it actually suits the Ford colours. It's good. It's just something a little bit rare. It makes you smile at the end of the day, and yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Obviously, if you like that colour, go for it. The green and the red are probably a bit more racy and a bit more going for it. I mean, look at that, 35 miles per gallon. So you get an idea a little bit of how some of the cars are driven. But yeah, that's a bit around the facelift, which I feel could be a little bit of a steal if you can get into one. And if you're thinking of getting one, have a little look on Auto Trader and just go through it, because I've seen Ford Fiestas, particularly in the Mark 7s, they've just been around for so long. And if I just continue playing my little video while I talk, they've been around for so long. The Mark 7 Fiesta sort of appeared in 2008, and they sold it right up till literally around 2017, 2018, and then they did the Mark 8. Now, you really can't step outside without seeing a Mark 7 Fiesta, because it works for people in the real world. They're economical, they're just about practical enough for everyone. You get a roof box on it if you really want more space. They're fun to drive, they're cheap to kind of run in general, service, maintenance, it's always not going to be too bad. Yes, are they built in the same sort of level or degree as a car from a higher class, like a Ford Focus ST? No, but then that's why you get it at a cheaper price. It's light, it's a good laugh, and for this one, it's not complicated. Okay, it's got this 1.5 litre EcoBoost, which was a special engine at the time, but it's not as complicated as the likes of the hybrids and the electric cars that you get going on now. It's a lot more kind of straightforward. One of the reasons why I kind of hold on to my Golf R, which you could have just seen on the right there, is for that exact reason. It's just a car which works still today. If it worked 10 years ago, it's going to work now. That's where I'm at. And the Mark 8.5 Fiesta ST, I feel, is a cool car to get into. And, I'm grateful for the owners that sort of reached out and sort of shared the car. I'd love to sort of try it again. I'm tempted to pop into a few Ford dealers. But, if you're a subscriber of my channel and, you'd like to reach out, just drop me a DM on Instagram or an email, and I'd happily kind of share the car. And I love kind of getting that owner's perspective as well of how you kind of felt it. Is it, the best built car? Is it a bit rattly? Yeah, probably overall. I bought my Mark 7 Fiesta ST brand new in 2013, right? And literally the day I picked it up, like 8 miles on the clock, there were already bits that were kind of falling off the dash. That and I was just like, okay, this is just what you have to accept. So you know what you're getting, but you also know you are going to have a right laugh in that car, and you can have a lot of fun, and it drives well. And certainly for me, I'm in the fortunate position I could potentially see it as a second car. It's a good fun. But could it be a one car? Yeah, sure. It could be. And in a world where we're all working from home quite a lot now, you could just have it as that weekend practical family thing. And that does the job. And yeah, I think they're great. The seats are a big highlight for me as well. That was the big upgrade to the 8.5 from the Mark 8. And as you can see there, they hug you in quite well. But they're not too tight. The Mark 8 had quite tight bolsters, which made things a little bit uncomfortable. And I wouldn't say I'm the biggest person in the world, so that's something you've got to think about. I would recommend checking out the videos. I'd probably talk more sense at the time when I was kind of checking this car out. Good car, I've enjoyed them, and yeah, if you want to get one used, I hope this video has kind of helped you out. It can be confusing on the market, and I hope I've sort of collated it down, although I feel like I might have made things a little bit more complicated than need be. But for me, if you want to get a facelift, just search in Auto Trader from 2022 and just have a little check. Just see what's on good price. I would go for a Ford dealer, personally, if you can, and crack on and enjoy a great car that they may never make again, which they're unlikely to make again. And it is good. If you want something a little bit more, even longer and maybe built a little bit stronger, go for the Mark 4.5 Focus ST, which is another car that I really enjoy, and I'll probably do a video on that too. But this one's just around the Fiesta. There you go. See if you can find one in Boundless Blue. I've never seen one on the road. They look pretty cool. And yeah, this is a community channel, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. See if you can help other people out. There's plenty of people who still own these Fiestas, and ultimately Ford aren't selling them anymore. So unless of course they're used. And that's the idea, help people out, give people advice on your experience so they can check in the comments too. And I'm happy to answer questions as well, and yeah, other people kind of get involved. That's what my channel's about. It's a community channel, and it's there to kind of help you out. And yeah, if you found this video useful, give it a like, share, subscribe. I've got plenty more content to come. Really cool stuff actually lined up, and actually the more subscribers you have, the more opportunities you get. It's just as simple as that. And I think I have something like 91% of people who watch my channel aren't even subscribed. So if you all subscribed, it would be absolutely fantastic. It costs you nothing. And I would hopefully, if you watch my content, I hope you enjoy it, and you would get better content. It's just as simple as that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back.